What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. This video is discussing what the meta probably will be for update 48. So as we know, the undeath has been fiddled with over these past couple of incremental patch updates. So originally it was 30% damage reduction, and now it went down to 10% damage reduction, and then they've raised it subsequently to 15%, and it remains to be seen if they're actually going to continue with this, or they're going to nerf it even further or revert it. So we don't really know, but to be honest, I do feel they probably will finally nerf the undeath as a permanent thing. I don't think it's really going to come back as that 30% that really is a little bit too strong and was carrying a lot of players in PvP. So what is going to be the actual meta for update 44 when this all happens, and the patch actually goes live? I do believe there is an item in question, a mythic item in question, that's going to really be brought to the forefront and will become a potential meta. It is still quite good in most situations anyway, and most classes, but I do believe this will become even more relevant than ever. And the mythic I'm talking about in question is the Talk of the Last Aelid King. And why is this? Because it gives it gives really good stats overall anyway, but in particular the 15% damage reduction. So obviously this is going to make up for the loss of the undeath passive, because if people do drop vampire entirely, which I've heard a lot of people and a lot of feedback from players that they are actually going to be dropping vampire altogether, it still probably will be viable as it stands, but it's definitely not as there's the incentive to have it is not as quite as relevant as it was. So people will be looking for further damage reduction sources. Obviously you can get your major protection and minor protection and CPs etc to sort of mitigate damage, and resistances, critical resistances, but sometimes that isn't enough, and people might be looking for additional damage reduction sources. And how fitting the Talk of the Last Aelid King will be for that. It's going to be a nice tasty 15% extra damage reduction. So this could potentially make up for the loss of the undeath passive, especially if you're not running vampire as well. So you're going to benefit from obviously extra sustain and taking less fire damage, but of course people will be looking for, people will be squishier. So the Talk of the Last Aelid King will go perfectly well with that loss of damage reduction through the undeath passive. So this is what I feel will be the meta, but like I said, we still have to wait until the final patch notes are released, because they're still changing things. They're still open to changing things, so we could see some further changes to undeath. Who knows? They may leave it they may go up to 20% and just leave it there. But as it stands, it's 15%. But like I said, the Talk will add another 15% on, so we'll get to that 30%. And you'll be back to how it was basically. So yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, guys. Drop this video a like, and I'll see you in the next video.